Tulsi Gabbard is a combat veteran and former congresswoman, and she joins me now. Tulsi, thanks for being here. I mean, it breaks your heart because you knew guys like this. I did too. They want to work. They want to earn. They believe they've achieved the American. They're safe. They're here. And then something like this happens. I mean, what does it tell you about the state of our cities?
Yeah, Pete, it is heartbreaking, and seeing his story is reminding me of the interpreters that we worked with in Iraq and their families. Look, this is the tragic consequence of the reality that for so long our leaders have been focused on governing and dominating and taking over other parts of the world and neglecting what's actually happening right here at home in our communities. They're focused on LGBTQ rights in Uganda, or banning, threatening Mexico with sanctions if they don't buy our GMO crops, rather than focusing on, hey, let's secure our borders. Let's make sure that our streets are safe for people to walk down and to go to work. Let's make sure that we're taking care of the basic fundamental needs of our people right here at home, providing that safety, security, and freedom. That's what people like him looked forward to in coming to the United States. That was the idyllic vision that every interpreter talked to me about in Iraq and Afghanistan. Yes. They had a sense that the streets were paved with gold and you could achieve anything in America, and then they come and see this. You know, besides you, there are very few people who were in the Democrat Party who recognize this problem. Is there any chance there's a moment where leaders inside the Democrat Party say, we've lost control of these cities and we need to do something about it? I'm sad to say, Pete, but no, I don't think so. And the reason is because they have become so blinded and consumed with their desire for power that they're not actually feeling and seeing what is happening in these communities. They turn a blind eye to things like this. They turn a blind eye to anything that's harming our communities that's not politically convenient for them. And that's what's so heartbreaking about this, is this cold callousness, calculating decisions that are being made by so many of these Democrat leaders at the city level or state or federal level that really puts their self-serving interests and the self-serving interests of the Democrat Party ahead of their core fundamental, what should be their purpose, which is to serve the well-being of the American people. Well, we think of this interpreter and his family, especially his family and his kids tonight. So many like him that put it on the line for us that deserve that opportunity, and we failed them again. And you mentioned foreign interventions, though, Tulsi, and I want to get your take on what's happening now in Ukraine, because the Biden administration has announced they're sending cluster bombs to Ukraine. The move's highly controversial. In fact, Biden's own White House once said that using these kinds of bombs would be considered a war crime. Watch.
There are reports of illegal cluster bombs and vacuum bombs being used by the Russians. If that's true, what is the next step of this administration, and is there a red line for how much violence will be tolerated against civilians in this manner that's illegal and potentially a war crime?
It would be. I don't have any confirmation of that. We have seen the reports. If that were true, it would potentially be a war crime.
So it was a war crime for Vladimir Putin, but it's okay for us to send it to the Ukrainians in escalation.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, Pete. Their hypocrisy of rules that apply to others but not for them, making decisions based on their own selfish desire for more power, their political interests. You know, the cold callousness of this decision by the Biden administration today reminds me of what then Secretary of State Madeleine Albright said when she was asked about whether the price was worth it when the U.S. sanctions against Iraq killed over 500,000 children. And her response was, yes, we think the price was worth it. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get what they want, believing that the end justifies the means, even though this decision today all but guarantees that for decades to come, American-made cluster bombs will be the cause of Ukrainian casualties and children losing limbs long after this Russia-Ukraine war has finished.
You're exactly right. When you look in the mirror and realize we're no better than what we're up against here in this, I mean, it's a tough thing for people to rack their brain around, but that's exactly what's happening right now in Ukraine with no end state in sight, and you've been bold and willing to speak truth about that. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.